Alright, we're all connected. I wonder, can I even bring up my backlog after I've got off the game and hop back on? I don't know if I can. Anyways, Fujita-san, Fujimoto-san, I think there's a Fuji.
Nani? Tanaka-san.
What is it, Tanaka-san? Tanaka, I was totally wrong.
あのさ、教室で流す映像のビデオ撮影のことなんだけどさ。
About the videos we're going to be playing in the classroom. What is she talking about? Alright, they're gonna make their own version of the Nikoniya videos where they wore costumes and danced.
そのアップとかできるのかな？こうずっと同じで撮るんじゃなくて。
Do you think we could do some close-ups or something instead of just shouting from the same spot the whole time? Instead of shooting from the same spot the whole time. My bad. Okay, now I can pull up the backlog. Why is she telling me to do? Is she telling me what to do? I didn't volunteer to videotape it, you guys forced me. Well, it's better than being told to dance or make props myself.
Ah.
Oh, well... You see...
フィックスじゃなくていろいろ動かせっていうことですか?
You don't want to fix, you want us to move around? Also, why is he talking like that? Is he super socially anxious around... I don't know. Video recording term refers to the act of fixing a camera in a single place and recording without moving it.
フィックス？よくわかんないけど。
Fix? I don't know what you mean.
できますよ。アップでも何でも。
Oh, we can do it. We can do close-ups or whatever. Jesus, why is this guy just absolutely like I don't know.
本当？よかった。じゃあ本番までにどこをどう撮ってほしいかまとめて渡すから。
Really? Great. I'll write up how we want you to do it and give it to you before the shoot. And then she fled. That surprised me. Don't scare me like that. I was so nervous, I was sweating a little. Ito looked at me inside. What?
お前、やっぱリア充じゃないわ。
There's no way you're a normie, man. What?
相変わらず慣れない相手だと挙取るし、丁寧語だし。
You freak out whenever you're talking to someone new. Oh, is that what's going on? Just whenever someone is new? That's weird.
しょうがないだろ。いきなりだったんだから。
I can't help it. She came out of nowhere. And what's more, I made a policy not to talk to anyone unless it was necessary. This was the first time in quite a while I'd spoken to any of my classmates but Ito.
どうだった?
How'd it go?
なんか自慢されてなかった？フィックスとかなんとか。
He was bragging about something, you know, fix or something?
んだそれ。またうんちくか?
What? More techno babble? They'd already started to spread meaningless information. Stop it. Hearing whispers about me in the classroom brought back bad memories. I was starting to have a hard time breathing.
おい、大丈夫か?
Hey, you okay? It must have looked like I was in pain because Ito was looking at me with concern on his face. I quickly nodded to show that I was fine.
陰口は聞こえないように言えってのな。しかも自慢でもうんちくでもなんでもないっての。
If you want to talk behind someone's back, do it where they can't hear you. And it's not bragging or technobabble.
別に気にしてないよ。藤田さんは。
It doesn't bother me. Fujita-san is.
誰だよ?
Who's that?
田中さんは情弱なだけなんだから。
Oh, Tanaka-san is just a wrong-sider. That's right. Wasn't worth worrying about. She was just ignorant. Ito looked over at our other classmates who were having fun.
ったくオポチュニストが。
Jeez, they're obdurate as hell. Jesus Christ, that's actually a word I've never heard in my entire life of living. I'm gonna Google that. What the fuck is obdurate, man? It absolutely is not important for me to understand this, but I can't help but look it up. Stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or course of action. It describes someone who is unyielding, hard to persuade, or seemingly hardened against moral influence. Were we trying to change their mind on something? Or just their general attitude is something that doesn't change and therefore they're obdurate? Obdurate? Uh-oh. What did that mean again? Oh my god, wow, that aged well. That my pause to look up that fucking word actually just like aged like fine wine in a course of 2 seconds. I ran a search on my Pokecon, making sure not to let Ito see. Obdurate, stubbornly refusing to change, have a lack of pity or remorse, ruthless.
そうだな。
That's
言い当
right.
ててると思う。みんなと同じ方向にひよってるだけだよ。
I think that's exactly the right word. They have no remorse at all.
まったくな。
You got that right. Ito nodded, annoyed. Good, looks like you didn't find out.
いつの時代もスクールカーストの底辺にいる俺らオタクは上部にいる方たちに話のネタを提供する運命なのか。
Did the otaku at the bottom of the social hierarchy always have to give the people above us something to talk about? Okay, a social hierarchy, a natural ranking system that develops among humans in a group environment. In this case, it's referring to one that is formed between students in a school environment. Although it's impossible to define all the factors that go into determining each student's standing, attractiveness, and romantic experience are known to be major factors in giving one a high rank, while those with otaku hobbies, as well as those who are shyer in nature, tend to fall to the lower end. There are, of course, many people who possess attributes from both the upper and lower classes, and one's final position in the hierarchy is determined by general opinion of the school. Hold it. The school's social hierarchy wasn't something I cared about, but...
おい、僕はオタクじゃないぞ。
Hey, I'm not an otaku.
またかよ。
Not this again.
またってなんだ。理屈に合わないことが気持ち悪いだけだ。
What do you mean
一
again?
石
I just don't like it when people are wrong. Do you want...
いい、ぶたなくていい。
No, I do not want a lecture.
オタクの定義は流動していて、当初あった悪いイメージは徐々に払拭されつつあるけれど。
The definition of the word otaku is changing, and the negative connotations it originally had are disappearing, but...
2015年現在でも、アニメやらラノベやらゲームやらアイドルやらにハマっている人のことを指す場合が大半だ。
Even now in 2015, it still mostly serves to denote those obsessed with anime, light novels, video games, and idols. I thought I saw a boy reading a light novel turn towards me, but I didn't care.
僕はくだらないアニメやラノベは見ない。時間の無駄だ。
I don't watch stupid anime or read stupid light novels. It's a waste of time.
以前お前なんかのアニメを絶賛してなかったか。なんだっけ、ブラチュ？
Weren't you going on about how great some anime was? What was it, Bloodtoon?
くだらないアニメは見ないと言ったんだ。
I said I don't watch stupid anime.
素晴らしきかな我が人生や二人のベロニカとかの名画を検索しようとすらせずに同じようなアニメばっか見て。
It's no different than people who ignore quality movies like The Double Life of Veronica or It's My Wonderful Life and just watch the same stuff over and over. A joint production between France and Poland, directed by Krzysztof CoZ. Some Polish last name. I don't even want to try and pronounce it. Chronicles the lives of two girls, both named Veronica, who are born in different countries. The scene on the bus is a must-see, a masterpiece. I'm curious what movie this is referencing, because I feel like... I don't know. It's My Wonderful Life, an American movie directed by Blank Capra and released in 1946. The film tells the story of the life of a man and the strange miracle he encountered on Christmas Eve. The climax of the movie, where the main character runs through the city, is truly unforgettable. In America, it is the quintessential Christmas movie, a timeless classic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not... I guess I'm just not American enough. I'm fake, I guess.
このアニメを見てないやつはにわかだとか言ったり。
And then they say anyone who hasn't seen the show is a casual.
わかったわかったって。
I get it, I get it.
数列都市や冬の庭とかの名著。ああ、いいよね。とか嘘ついて済ませてラノベばっか読んでいる。
Or people lie about having read books like The Transmutation City or The Fiends and just read light novels all day. Okay, well I think I know what The Fiends is. That's Friends. Maybe? The fuck is Transmutation City? A lengthy hard science fiction novel written by Greg Morgan in 1994. The book is told from the perspective of a human who comes to live inside a virtual world, and it provides an extensive lens into his views on immortality. The detailed theories and progression throughout the book make this novel a must-read. Comes to live inside a virtual world. Okay. It's not The Matrix. Gosh, I'm really embarrassing myself if that's a obvious reference and I'm just not getting it. Fiends, a novella published in 1992 by Kazumi Yuki. Depicts the relationship between 36th grade boys and a senior citizen who lives alone, translated into different languages all over the world and adapted into a movie and stage play as well. The book you'd want to read when you're the same age as young boys. Okay, maybe I was wrong about Friends. There's something else.
そういう自分の好きな知識しか吸収しないやつを言うんだ。オタクっていうのは。
Word otaku refers to people like that who only bother to absorb information about subjects they enjoy.
カメラオタクってなんか怪しいイメージあるよな。
Camera otaku. Why did I say it? Camera otaku seemed like a bunch of weirdos to me.
別に人様に迷惑かけなければいいんじゃん。好きなんでしょ。うちだってジョニオタだし。
As long as they're not bothering anyone, who cares? I'm a Johnny otaku myself. Johnny? Stop it, please. More than anything, I don't want to be the same as you people. And then the door to the classroom flew open. A female student was looking in. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like saving for these points, even though I'm never actually gonna test both options. It's just a reminder for me to save at this point. She must have been in a hurry because she was a little out of breath. She brushed her long hair out of her eyes and was about to come inside.
No,どうしたの?
No, what's up?
おお、上帝。ちょうどよかった。
Oh, Empress, perfect timing. Whole class started talking to her. Not what I was expecting.
ちょっと。
Hold on. She's about to say something when her foot caught on one of the cables running across the classroom. She suddenly tripped. She almost tripped, but managed to keep her balance. If I did a negative delusion, she probably would have tripped for real. I don't know what the positive delusion would have been. She smiled a bit and took a deep breath. All the students around her, boys and girls alike, began to move. They surrounded her as if they were welcoming a long-lost family member.
ちょっと誰？こんなところにケーブル置きっぱなしにしたの。危ないな。
Hey, who put this cable here? That's dangerous.
ののごめんね。
No, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
女帝大丈夫か？
Empress, you okay? They actually call her that?
ええ、気にしないで。
Yeah, don't worry about me. She answered them with a smile. I felt like our eyes met. I looked away without thinking. Kurusu Nono, first student council president of Heihiko Academy.
あのさ、うちの喫茶でキッチン側とそれ以外のこっち側のなんてのお客さんスペースってか。
Hey, so for our cafe, we've got the kitchen and then the other part. What do you call it? Where the customers sit? Karusu. Oh my god, I'm trying hard not to say Kurisu. It's Karusu. Smiled a little bit as she spoke.
ホール側？
You mean the hall? Karusu no no.
そうそう、ホールだ。そのさ、間を仕切る暗幕の数の調整ってワックンしてくれた？
Yeah, the hall. Did Mr. Wacky adjust the number of curtains you got to partition the two?
調整？涌井先生が増田君にそう言ったの？
Adjust? Did Mr. Wakui say he was going to do that, Masuda-kun?
え、聞いてない？
Huh? You didn't know?
ええ。ということは絶対やってないでしょうね。わかった。私から言っておく。
Nope, which means he definitely didn't do it. Fine, I'll talk to him. Mr. Wacky? They call him Mr. Wacky?
大丈夫？なんか女帝、先生たちから目つけられてんじゃん。てか、怖がられてんじゃん。
You sure? The teachers seem to have their eyes on you, Empress. Actually, they seem scared of you.
生徒会長なんて生徒側から学校側に無理難題を押し付けるためにいるものでしょ。大丈夫。なけなしの権力を振りかざすから。あと増田君、女帝はやめて。
Student council president's job is to make teachers' lives difficult for the benefit of the students. Don't worry, I'll use what little power I've got. Oh, and Masuda-kun, stop calling me Empress.
ほう、サンキュー女帝。
Thanks, Empress. Oh my god.
あなたね。
Now listen, you. Most of the boys in the class call Karusa Empress as a joke. She got the name after becoming a hero to her fellow students through the gallant deeds like putting an end to the principal's endless homeroom speeches. Not to mention bringing more types of bread to the school store. Fuck, she deserved it.
着ぐるみありがとね。ぴったりだった。
Thanks for the costume, Nono. It was a perfect fit.
田中、それ私が試着した時最後までファスナー上がらなかったんだけど。
Tonica, when I wore that, I couldn't get the zipper all the way up.
と、地雷？
Oh, should I have kept my mouth shut?
呼び込み禁止にするからね。
I can stop you guys from doing any advertising, you know.
ああ、ごめん。嘘。ピチピチだから。これは割とマジで。いや、てか、どうせ胸で引っかかったんでしょ？
I'm sorry, it was a joke. You're just fine. I mean it. And wait, it probably got stuck on your breast anyway, didn't it?
冗談。期待してるから笑いとってよ。
As a joke, I'm counting it, okay? Get lots of laughs. She sure was popular. She even knew the names of students in other classes. Are we gonna get a game where just everyone is likable and not super weirdly written? That because like, how do I say this? Chaos at Noah was probably the game with not the best writing just on any of the characters. Takumi was just not it, and all the supporting characters were just kind of like, I wouldn't say wet blankets, but honestly, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. Science Gate was better. Obviously, they had like a friend dynamic going on. They kind of fell like obvious personality traits that define them. Whereas like Daru is the otaku nerd, he makes pervy jokes, and then fuck, I already forgot her name. It's fucked up. The little woman girl friend of Okabe, you know, kind of has a personality trait, the whole Tutaru thing, just generally being peppy. Okabe's mad scientist. Kurisu is probably the most human. And then you had Robotics Notes, Elite. You know, you had a Kai, who's just like barely a fucking character, if I'm being honest. He's just so strangely... Akiho was pretty great, but also like, you know... And then Subaru was a certain way. I mean, it was kind of... Akiho and Subaru were kind of realistically written, but also like... You know... This game, I don't know, what if it's just all chill people? That would be really interesting. How would they make that work? The top of the school social hierarchy. That was the first phrase that came to mind. And then...
タクル、話があるの。ちょっと来てくれる？
Takaru, we need to talk. Can you come with me? Kurusu walked all the way over to me and Ito. Her expression was so kind, it seemed like she had to be putting on some kind of act. I could see that all the people who had been surrounding her were staring at me.
女帝、カメラっ子に何の用だ？友達なのか？
What does the Empress want with the camera kids? Are they friends?
知らないの？ノノは。
What? Didn't you know? Nono is...
はあ、マジで？
Huh? Seriously? I ignored my classmates' whispers and focused on Kurusu. Her smile seemed faked, as if I had been plastered onto her face. When she smiled like that, it meant she wasn't in a good mood.
今はごめん。事件に関して気づいたことがあって、それをまとめてる最中なんだ。
Sorry, I can't now. I just figured out something about the case, and I'm putting it together.
うん。
生徒会文化祭の準備が佳境だろ。だからクルスが落ち着いたらで。
Student Council is really busy with a culture festival right now, you know, so once it's calmed down, Kurusu. Her cheeks twitched a little. Crap. Kurusu didn't like it when I called her by her last name.
ちょっと来てくれる？部室。
Can you come with me to the club room really quick? It sense a dark aura forming around her, hardly befitting a so-called empress.
来てくれる？
Can you? She's so close to me.
行こうか。部室。なあ、宮代。
Let's go to the club room. That cool with you, Miyashiro? Ito couldn't handle the terror. It didn't look like I could talk my way out of this one. Seeing no other choice, I nodded and stood up.
クルス。
Oh, looks like probably gonna be another named important character, judging by the hair color.
クルス、ちょっと。
Kurusu, you got a second?
グラウンドに出す屋台のコンロの数でしょ？やっぱり一つの屋台につき一つで統一する。
Oh my god, it's terrifying. They actually showed the hind view of a character. Is this about the portable stoves for all the food stalls in the field? We decide that every stall gets one.
いや、それは。おう。
Huh? But that's... okay.
悪いけど例外はなし。校長に掛け合ったけどダメだったから。人数が多くて不満があるところは私が後で直接説明に行く。
Sorry, no exceptions. I spoke to the principal, but I couldn't get him to change his mind. If any of the bigger groups are still upset, I'll go talk to them myself.
了解。いや、じゃなくて、なんで持ち場離れて。
Roger, I mean, wait, why aren't you where you're supposed to be?
クルス。だから忙しかったら落ち着いたらでいいって。
Kurusu, I told you that if you're busy, we can do this later.
もう終わったから。ごめんね、川原くん。急ぎなの。
I'm done. Sorry, Kawahara-kun. I'm in a hurry right now. Her tone was gentle but brooked no argument as she hurried to the club room. Oh shit, what the fuck? That was terrifying.
宮代、またお前か。今度は何したんだ。
Miyashiro, you again. What did you do this time? Kawahara-kun cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council.
いやいい。言わなくても分かってる。また例のくだらない記者ごっこだろ。それとも探偵気取りか。
No, you don't need to tell me. You're pretending to be a reporter again, right? Or was it a detective? I knew why he was giving me such a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurusu was spending time with me.
別にその
It's not, Also, I think I am going to, at the beginning of every... So my plan is, there are 6 pages here. I don't know how many chapters are going to be in the game. Maybe around 6. But I'm going to reserve basically 1 page for each chapter. I'm going to data lock the first save of each chapter, or the first delusion, just in case I need to go back and get other endings. I think that's how... I don't know if going back to the first save will cause me to, like... cause it to forget that I completed 1 ending already, but... whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. It's not,
何
what?
川原君に迷惑はかけてないと思いますけど。
It's not any of your business, I think. Okay, so we know this guy's a gigalomaniac just by the fact that he has delusion triggers. Yeah, I wonder how they're going to try and awaken him, for lack of better words. Which actually means I wonder how they're going to break him.
かかってるんだよ。クルスの時間が割かれると同じ生徒会の俺たち全員にな。
It is my business. When you take up Cruce's time, you cause trouble for me and the rest of the student council. I'm not wasting my time with this. There's no point. I try to ignore him and just walk on by.
お前、小中と不登校だったんだって。
So I heard you skipped most of elementary and middle school. Is that true? How the fuck do you do that? Oh, wait. Is this a Chaos Head Noah situation? Because remember how, Takumi is a delusional creation of Shogun? And Takumi doesn't really have memories of his childhood? Or, he does, but they're fabricated memories, which are actually just Shogun's memories that don't align with his actual existence from point A to point B. I wonder if Miyashiro Takeru skipped to high school because he's a delusional creation and already knows all that stuff from his creator. I kind of hope that's not the case, because I feel like if you've done it once, I really don't want to see that happen again. I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurusu. She quickly shook her head.
川原くん、急いでいるから。
Kawahara-kun. Is that how she said it? I think so. Hold up. I kind of want to know how she said it. I'm really in a hurry right now.
川原くん、急いでいるから。
Kawara?
川原くん、急いでいるから。
Like, that is how she said it, right? Kawara-kun? Okay. But he kept on staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turn away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the club room.
It
Wasn't me, okay? The second the three of us were alone in the club room, her expression changed. Remember to clean up, do not open. The smell of plaster on student council president's face disappeared. This was who she really was.
何が
What wasn't?
川原くんが言ってたこと。
What
私が彼
Kawahara-kun
に言ったわ
was
けじゃな
saying.
いから。
I didn't tell him, okay?
別に気にしてないよ。
It didn't bother me.
嘘。
You're lying. Really? It didn't. Everything about me was different than it used to be.
まあまあ。で、何副部長。話があんでしょ
So what was it? Why did I say it like that? Oh my gosh. So what is it? Did you want to talk about something, Miss Vice President of the newspaper club? I don't know why my reading is like so fucked up. I feel like I was a lot smoother in my robotics notes playthrough. Caruso sighed and changed the subject.
タクル、あなたちゃんとご飯食べてるの？少し痩せたんじゃない？
Tucker, are you eating right? You look like you've lost weight. Huh? Where is this coming from?
これからどんどん寒くなってくるでしょ？住んでるところの防寒対策とかちゃんとしてるんでしょうね。
It's going to start getting colder soon, you know. Can you keep warm in the place you're living in? Crap, she's in nag mode.
進路調査、結局就職で提出したんですって？進学で提出しなさいって言ったのに、勉強できないわけじゃないんだから。
And I heard you told the teachers you're going to get a job after graduation. I told you to say you're going to college. It's not like you aren't smart enough.
確かに今からだと厳しいけど、受験なら私が面倒見るってこれも前に言ったでしょ？
I know it's going to be hard for you to start now, but I've told you before that I can help.
調べたのというより話ってそれ
Did you go around asking the teachers? And what is it? And wait, is that what you wanted to talk about?
どうなの？ちゃんと食べてるの？
Well, are you eating right?
食べてるよ。大丈夫だって。
I think just fine. Everything's just fine. I waved my hand to bring the conversation to a close. I didn't want this to end the way it used to, with a 6-hour lecture about how every aspect of my life was wrong, followed by hard labor as my punishment. Caruso looked like she still had a lot more to say, but a moment later...
あなた、先週の金曜日、学校サボったでしょ？
You skipped school last Friday, didn't you? Huh? Oh, so that's what this was all about.
サボったよ。別に問題ないだろ。
Yeah, I did. Is that a problem?
あるに決まってるでしょ？どこで何してたの？
Of course it's a problem. Where were you?
ストレージにアップした画像。あれを撮りに行ってたんじゃないの？
You were out taking those photos you upped to the storage folder, weren't you? Damn it, I figured that would be it. She was right. The pictures I'd taken from the karaoke box were from last Friday when I skipped school. I started staking out the place early that morning and waited for the manager of the condo building to open the curtains.
苦労したんだ。でもおかげで警察以外まだ誰も見てない現場の画像を撮れた。
It was a lot of work, but thanks to that, I was able to get photos of the crime scene that nobody else has except for the police.
こういう事件ばかり追いかけるのはやめなさいって前から言ってるでしょ。
I've told you before that you need to stop spending all your time on this stuff. Kurusu was the vice president of the newspaper club and had been opposed to Ito's and my journalistic ethos for a long time. We spend most of our time investigating crimes in Shibuya. Stuff like the attacks on the homeless people that have been flooding the city ever since the earthquake. And urban legends about company involvement in the about a company involved in the rebuilding who'd put up tons of security cameras all around the city. And a serial arson case where the culprit had never been caught. And now these strange deaths. For her part, Kurusu said that a student paper shouldn't be investigating crime. She wrote normal, sincere articles and made normal, sincere videos. The video about the Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize. The video about Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize had been mostly her work.
タクル、今回あなたおかしい。学校をサボってまで事件を追うなんて今までなかったでしょ。
Tucker, you're acting really strange this time. You never skipped school to do this stuff before, have you? That was true. The reason why was obvious, right? I was lucky enough to have this huge mystery right in front of me.
今回に関しては学校をサボるのもしょうがないよ。
This is worth skipping school for.
なぜ？
Why?
だって新聞部を立ち上げてから初めて起こった渋谷での大きな事件じゃないか。こんな美味しいネタ。
Because it's the first big thing that's happened in Shibuya since we started the newspaper club. This is a huge scoop.
おいしい？
Scoop? I really hope she isn't a twist villain at the end where it's like, oh, I'm so invested in your life because I work for the Committee of 300 or some bullshit. Scoop. That was a great sound. That face was bad news. It was scary. Ito was right next to me, so I grabbed him and held him tight.
おい、縦にすんなって。え、縦なの？
Hey,
てか
don't...
副部長、何その顔？
Hey, don't use this as a shield. Wait, am I a shield? And why is her face so scary?
おいしいですって？人が死んでるっていうのに？
A huge scoop. People are dead. Into you, it's just a huge scoop.
違います。すいません。
No, I'm sorry. Stay away from me. I really can't handle this.
おすんなって。ちょっと待って、マジで縦なの？
Don't push me. Wait, are you really using me as a shield?
やばい、やばい。
Oh crap, oh crap. That face was seriously bad news. The Empress was scary enough that she could send a demon running in terror. I never met a demon either. That's just how scary she was.
もう一度言ってくれる？よりによってあなたが人が死んでおいしいですって？
Care to repeat that? Want to tell me again how all these deaths are just a huge scoop for you? Did she like lose someone important to her? Like I know you don't need to lose someone important to you to like take this seriously, but like usually that's why. So I don't know. Maybe someone close to her died in that earthquake. Oh shit. I needed to find some way to stop her. And then I felt the wind rush by my ears. Is he having a delusion? Uh-oh. Why is that shot... At the worst possible time, the wind blew through the room. Are you serious? Kurusu didn't even have time to hold down her skirt. Pray that YouTube and Twitch doesn't use this as the auto thumbnail. Oh, here comes my... Okay, here comes my serve. I've got it. My eyes were locked with Kurisu's as I heard the sounds from the open window. I hadn't even realized it was open until then. Well, as long as your eyes are making contact with her eyes, then all is good in the universe. There was a tennis court on top of the special use building. That was probably the tennis team out there. I need to say something. Was I supposed to tell her I hadn't seen anything?
副部長
You don't have to tell her you didn't see it. Otherwise you're just bringing attention to it. Vice President?
白なんですね
White, huh?
イメージ通りというか
Haha, I guess that's just what I expect, dude. Idiot, are you trying to get yourself killed?
私の下着の色が何色か今関係あんのか
Yeah, that's a perfectly normal reaction. Does it really matter what color my underwear is right now, asshole? I flinched at the sudden noise. I'm sorry. And then I realized I was sure that was the sound of Karusu kicking the wall, or maybe the sound of her murdering Ito, but I was wrong. It was coming from deeper inside the room.
あの子はまったく
That girl, sheesh. Is that? Yep, that's the same game that Takumi plays. I forget what it was called. It was called ESO, I think, but I don't remember what that stood for.
和樹来てたの
Kazuki, are you here?
和樹そうかヘッドホン
Kazuki? Oh, she's got her headphones on. Kurusu sighed and pulled off the headphones that Kazuki... Why the fuck did I... That Kazuki always wore.
円数2でイラついたからって壁を殴るのはやめなさい何度も言ってるでしょ
I told you before to stop hitting the wall every time something goes wrong in ESO 2. So it looks like they made a sequel. Short for Empire Sweeper Online 2. The sequel to the MMORPG that once boasted the highest player count in all of Japan, Empire Sweeper Online. Like its predecessor, the game has been very well received. While the vast majority of users have moved on to ESO 2, the inability to transfer character data from the first game has caused a small number of veteran users to remain on the original ESO. The game takes place in the medieval Europe-inspired fantasy world of Basilard? I like the sound of Basilard better, so I'm gonna say that, where countless adventures are just waiting to unfold.
うん壁へこんでるじゃないもう
Almost has the same hair color as Takumi too. Look, you're making a dent. Kazuki Hana. The only first-year student in newspaper club. But forget her, this is my chance. As Kurusu was rubbing the red marks on Kazuki's hand, I said,
とにかく僕は
Anyway.
事件を追う発見があったんだもしかしたら大きな手がかりになるかもしれない
I'm gonna keep pursuing this case. I found a clue, and it might be a big one. Kurusu glared at me for a moment, but...
おおマジかよしすぐ準備する聞かせてくれぜひ聞かせてくれ
Wow, really? Okay, I'll get ready right away. Tell me all about it. I can't wait. Ito hurried over to the club's computer, desperate for any chance to escape his doom. I stared back at Kurusu for a moment, and then...
PC 立ち上げてストレージの画像プリントアウトしてくれ
Boot up the computer and print out the images in the storage folder.
了解だ
Roger. Ito's voice was louder than it needed to be as he turned on the computer.
もう殴らないこといい
No more punching the wall, okay?
うん
Dutifully ignored. Maybe she took pity on poor Ito because she didn't say anything else, but she still crossed her arms and glared at us as she leaned against the wall. That's because she was at least going to hear me out. Or maybe this was just her way of making sure I didn't escape.
お前後で飯をおごれよ。
You owe me lunch later.
なんでやだよ。
Oh, why? I don't want to.
盾にしやがって気まずすぎんだろ。
For using
こん
me
なもん10-0の巻き込まれ事故じゃねえか。
for using me as a goddamn shield. This was 100% your fault to begin with.
それは謝るけど、でも今回はまだマシだ。手が出なかったから。
I'm sorry, but you were lucky she didn't get violent.
手って副部長？
Huh? Violent? A vice president? I nodded. Kurusu was the girl that everyone looked up to, but she was actually very short-tempered. It would take me more than 5 fingers, but less than 10 to count to the number of times that she slapped me hard. Say Pomi? Is that supposed to be a reference to, like, Sony? Does Sony make laptops? Fuck. I don't know. When I told him that.
マジか。そんな、なんていうか、ありなの？そんなことする女子高生本当にいんのか？ヒスか S っ子手前じゃん。
Are you serious? I mean, really? Are there really teenage girls that do that stuff? That's one step short of a closeted dominatrix or just a total crazy bitch. Dominatrix, a term for a woman with sadistic personality, enjoys inflicting physical or psychological pain on others. Extremely dangerous. Is dominatrix inherently violent, or can they just be dominant? I don't know. I think this definition might actually be true. They're always associated with, like, whips and stuff. I don't know, stepping on people. Crazy bitch, a term used to refer to a short-tempered woman who can't control her emotion. Huh. Yep, that's, whatever, I'm not gonna make a deal out of that.
ねえ、あなた方。陰口は聞こえないように言えって言われないの？
Has someone ever told you that if you want to talk behind someone's back, you should do it where they can't hear you? The nearly crazy bitch didn't even bother looking at us as she spoke.
いや、そのセリフを言ったことはあるんだけどね。それもついさっき教室で。
No, we just said that someone though in the classroom. Haha.
そう。
I see. And then she fell silent. She was scary as hell. I felt like if I moved, she'd kill me.
おごりだ。決定だ。大盛りにデザートだ。異論は認めん。
You're buying. It's settled. Supersized and with dessert too. No objections.
高校じゃん。今のは。
That was 50% your fault. Actually, it was 100% Ito's fault for not keeping his mouth shut.
なあ、
Hey. What?
見たか？見たよな。
Did you see it? You saw it, right?
見てないよ。
I didn't. Like, he literally commented on it. That was a lie. I'd seen it. They were white. I glanced at Caruso out the corner of my eye. I guess it really was just what you'd expect. Still, I'd only gotten a glimpse. It's entirely possible I've been mistaken. If I burned the image in my brain now, maybe the next time something like this happened, I'd be able to react more quickly. So I prayed for more good luck. If it ever did happen again, I swore I'd react as a right-sider should. A right-sider wouldn't panic over something as insignificant as seeing a girl's underwear. In a situation like that, it was critical that he stayed calm. When she heard Ito turn on the computer, Kazuki tried it over like she usually did. And there's my reminder to save. That online gaming addict has the best computer skills of anyone in the club. Alright, so here's our resident hacker, our super hacker for this game. primarily used to refer to someone with an uncontrollable addiction to a certain substance, usually an illegal drug. However, it has recently come to describe people who spend so much time on a particular hobby that interferes with their daily lives. Some examples include video game addicts and Twitpo addicts. Whenever she was around, it was her job to run searches and organize information on the PC, but...
和樹、手伝わなくていい。この件については部の活動と認めてないから。
Kazuki, we don't need you for this. I don't consider this part of our club activities. Kazuki gave us a questioning look.
そうなんだ。
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kazuki just said, like she always did, and walked away. Kazuki put her headphones on and went back to the corner of the room. She started slamming keys again. I never did know how to talk to her. Actually, it felt like it had been forever since I'd even spoken to her. If you could even call that a conversation, that is. She'd been part of the newspaper club for 6 months, and all I knew about her was that she liked games, knew a lot about computers, and hated talking. In the end, Ito printed out the pictures, so I took them and went in front of the bulletin board before Kurusu changed her mind. Ooh. If Kurusu was going to listen, it was probably better to start at the beginning. Shibuya Raft. She didn't seem interested in the cases, but I ignored her, and it made her even madder. Even using Ito as a shield wouldn't be enough to save me.
今僕らが追っている事件は2つ。まず1つ目は今月の7日に起きたニコニア生放送公開自殺事件、通称こっちみんな。
There are two cases we're looking at right now. The first occurred on the 7th of this month during a Nikoniya live stream. It was a public suicide called the Don't Look case.
場所はここ、ジンナン。
It happened here in Jinan.
事件の内容は名前の通り、ニコニア動画で生放送していた男が放送中に突然自殺した。
Just like you probably guessed, Min killed himself without warning during the Nikoniya live stream. Okay, I'll read the post-it note. It says, victim, Otani Yuma, 21, unemployed. There's no way that guy was 21. Estimated time of death, 11:50 p.m., September 7th, 2015. Location, Shibuya Ward? Like, did he die in the hospital? Wait, what? Jinan, XX, okay, Charmont, Jinan condos, room 401, cause of death, blood loss from cuts. Case details. Otani was a Nikoniya live streamer who did regular shows called TIL, I Can See the Future, where he would make prophecies. He cut off his own right arm in the middle of a live stream, put it on a plate, and then ate it in front of his audience. After that, he most likely died from blood loss. Seems likely he committed suicide in a fit of insanity. Police are looking for whoever visited his room directly before the suicide. They are considering prosecution for abetting a suicide. Huh. So the guy who invaded his room was visible to everyone? It's not great. If you're trying to...
厳密に言うと完全に自殺と決まったわけじゃないんだけど、死んだ時の状況からそう言われてる。
So I say it's not great to appear on the live stream if you're trying to get away with the crime. Strictly speaking, we don't know for sure that's a suicide, but it sure looks like one.
名前は大谷優馬、21歳。俺氏、未来が見えてしまう件についてっていう預言者もどきみたいな放送を定期的にやって、結構アクセス数を稼いでいたニア生主。
The dead man's name is Otani Yuma, age 21. He was a live streamer who got quite a lot of views with some kind of fortune-telling program called TIL, I Can See the Future.
で、その状況だけど、まず放送中に大谷氏はコメントを設ける時間をとって一旦カメラ前から姿を消す。
So here's how it went down. First, Otani gave the audience some time to ask questions. He left the camera's field of view.
その後、ドアがノックされて誰かが来たらしい音をわずかだけどマイクが拾ってる。聞き取れないけど何かを話す声も。
After that, there was a sound of someone knocking at the door. It was faint, but the mic picked it up. There's also some voices, but you can't make them out.
そしてカメラ前に戻ってくると右腕が半分なくなってた。細かく切断されて自分が持ってきた皿の上に乗ってたんだ。
When he came back in front of the camera, half his right arm was missing, was chopped up into tiny bits and sitting on top of the plate he was carrying.
そしてその指を自分で食べた。まるで痛みを感じていない素振りで。
Then he started eating his own fingers, like he wasn't feeling any pain at all. Chris's expression changed a little. She probably hadn't known that. Suicide had been big news, even on TV, so she'd probably seen it there, but the details had been so horrific that the news didn't mention them. Those details could be found anywhere on the internet. It was only a matter of time before someone started putting it all together. The video itself had even started to get around.
そして少し経ってからいきなり苦しみ出して。
Then after a moment he started screaming pain.
死亡した。見ていた人は事件として発覚するまでいたずらか何かだと思っていたみたい。
And he died. Evidently the viewers thought it was some kind of gag or something at first.
出血性ショック死な。警察の発表でもそうなってたし、混沌するまでの時間を考えても間違いない。
Hypovolemic shock. When the body loses too much blood, the heart stops working properly. That's what it said in the police report, and given the time until he collapsed, it's almost certainly right. Ito added. Ito knew more about this stuff than I did. He was a fan of bizarre murders, and he'd read 10 times as many killer's diaries and non-fiction crime as I had.
何らかの理由で精神が錯乱した上での自殺って見解が濃厚らしいけど、警察は自殺の直前に部屋を訪ねてきた誰かを探しているらしい。
Most likely theory is that he experienced some kind of mental disorder before the suicide, but the police are supposedly looking for whoever visited the room first.
もしかしたら自殺幇助や自殺教唆の疑いがあるんじゃないかって。
They might be responsible for aiding or abetting a suicide. In Japan, if you saw someone trying to kill themselves and didn't intervene, it wasn't a crime unless the police could prove you wanted them to die. But aiding in a suicide or encouraging someone to commit suicide was illegal. That meant that the police were probably looking for whoever met Otani just before his death. Karusu was silent, but she was looking at the board and seemed to be listening. Seems safe. On to the next case then.
2つ目は19日に起きた事件。死体の状況から音漏れ炭っていう通称がついてる。
Second, the case that occurred on the 19th is God's name audio bleed from the condition the body was found in.
場所はここ、深セン。
It happened here in Shinsen. Okay, so remember how... I was about to say... Remember how the Scarecrow girl... There wasn't really anything wrong with her, like she was walking just fine, but it was... this woman who apparently died. I was gonna say maybe the Scarecrow girl killed her, the woman in the picture, but the woman in the picture is holding a guitar, so it's like, unless it was a band member that she killed, I don't really see how that could happen. Also, people would have noticed, so... I don't know. Happened here in Shinsen.
名前は高柳桃音、20歳。ニコニアの歌ってみたの歌い手で、最近ネットで有名になってきてるアニメソングのコピーバンドのボーカル。
Oh. So, the Scarecrow girl did die. The girl's name was Takayanagi Momone, age 20. She was a sing-it singer on Nikoniya. She'd been getting really famous online singing anime theme songs. Okay, let's read the case report. So number 2, audio bleed. The victim, Takayanagi Momone, 20, unemployed. I don't know why you had to include that, but okay. Estimated time of death, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. on September 19, 2015. So I believe 4 days apart. Location, Shibuya Ward, Shinsen. Why is it all Shibuya Ward? Sidewalk on Yamada Street, cause of death, blood loss from stomach wound. Case details. Takiyanagi died from blood loss after having a speaker implanted in her stomach. It is believed that after she performed with her band at a concert hall, someone sliced open her stomach and inserted a speaker inside the wound. Before she died, she traveled along the road beside the highway with the speaker inside of her and then sat down on the sidewalk. The speaker inside her stomach continually played a recording which said, "Stay and listen for a while." A fan of hers said she had something special that drew you in. It's a shame. That's strange. A fan cut her open? Someone, just as someone sliced open her stomach. Okay.
復興祭のステージで歌うことも決まってた。
She was going to sing at the Restoration Festival too.
バンドの派手な衣装を着たまま一人でストリートライブもしていて、晴れの日は毎日決まった場所、決まった時間で演奏していたらしい。
On every day, when it wasn't raining, she'd always go to the same place at the same time and put on performance in her fancy band costume.
その日はいつもの場所にかなり遅刻して現れてライブを始めた。
That day, she started her concert pretty late.
だけど何か様子がおかしかった。声が小さくていつもの感じじゃなかったらしい。そして結局ライブの最中に
But something was wrong. Her voice was small and didn't sound like it usually did. And then in the middle of the concert,
死亡した。こっちも失血死。ライブを始める前からお腹を刺傷していたんだ。
she died. Blood loss here too. She stabbed someone in the stomach before she'd been stabbed in the stomach before she started the concert. Okay, so the person who knocked on the door likely did it to her. It wasn't like she wasn't cut open during the performance. It was before the performance. Okay.
妙なのがやっぱり遺体の状況で。伊藤、再生してくれ。
What's strange was the condition the body was found in. Ito, play the video.
Oh,
sure thing. Yes, boss. Ito tapped a few keys on the computer's keyboard. And a moment later, huh? Is this really happening? She's dead. She's really dead. Call an ambulance. It talks. What? Caruso looked confused when she heard the sound. Evidently, she wasn't able to make it out.
ああ、そっちじゃなくて渋谷ニュースが音声いじってアップしてくれた方。
Oh, not that one. The one should be a news up with the enhanced audio.
ああ、そっちだよな。
Oh, that one.
と、
Yeah, Huh? Is this really happening?
死んでるって。マジで死んでるって。
She's dead. She's really dead.
救急車呼べって。
Call an ambulance.
ありがとう。ゆっくりしていってね。ありがとう。ゆっくりしていってね。ありがとう。ゆっくりして。
Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Her expression changed. She must have been able to hear it this time.
ありがとう。ゆっくりしていってね。常連のお客さんによれば、いつも彼女はこの一言からストリートライブを始めていたんだって。
Thanks for watching. Take it easy. According to the regulars, that's how she would begin every performance. A phrase often used at the start of videos on Nikoniya originates from a piece of ASCII art.
宮戸ユーザーだからな。なんでも歌ってみたの歌い手の中では彼女のライブが一番だって最近評判だったらしいぞ。
She's a Nikoniya user after all. Lately, police have been saying she's the best singer around. Carissa seemed to be ignoring me and Ito. She was staring at the computer screen that was the source of the sound.
今のは
What was that?
悲鳴は死体を発見したお客さんたちのもの。動画で撮っていた人がいたんだ。 で今のは高柳さん自身の声で。
The screams are from the audience members who discovered the body. One of them was recording a video, and that last part was in Takayanagi-san's voice.
お腹に埋め込まれていた小型のスピーカーから聞こえてきたんだ。
It was from a miniature speaker embedded in her stomach. Caruso seemed confused, so Ito interjected.
つまりその日のライブは最初から録音されたものだったんだよ。
In other words, the whole concert that day had been pre-recorded.
後で発見された証拠によると、彼女はコンビニで売ってるカッターで自分で自分の腹を裂いて Bluetooth のスピーカーを埋め込んだらしい。
Evidence found later that indicated that she'd slit open her own stomach with a utility knife that she got at a convenience store, then stuck a Bluetooth speaker inside. Bluetooth, a type of wireless communication standard used by digital devices, allows for communication via radio waves in a range between a few meters to a few dozen meters, often used for wireless mice and keyboards for computers and mobile devices.
ガムテープで止血とも呼べない適当な応急処置をした後、着ている服と衣装でその傷を隠してライブを始めたんだ。
She closed the wound up with duct tape, not that it actually did that much good. Then she used her clothes and the outfit to hide the wound and started her performance.
最初は録音した自分の声に合わせてギターを弾いていたらしいんだけど、途中からは歌声だけになった。
At first, she played the guitar along with the sound of her recorded voice, but after a while she stopped playing.
それからはうつむきっぱなしだったみたいだから、その時にはすでに死亡してたんじゃないかな。だけどお客さんは様子がおかしいとは思いながらも気づかずにずっと聞き続けて。
That was when she leaned forward and didn't get back up. So she was probably already dead then. While the audience thought it was strange, they kept listening. So how did she walk herself all the way to somewhere else and sit down?
彼女のポケットに入れていた携帯音楽プレイヤーが傷から流れた血液で壊れたのか、最初からそういう設定だったのか。
Either the blood from her wounds broke the portable music player in her pocket, or maybe it was supposed to be this way from the start.
とにかくさっきの音声トラックがリピート再生されるまで死んでいるとは気づかなかった。
Until that same line you just heard played over and over, and no one realized she was dead. Caruso's face was a mix of confusion and discomfort. Of course it was. She never heard something like this before. I couldn't hold back my excitement.
な、すごいだろ。
See? Amazing, right? Except for agreeing, Caruso's brow furrowed. She probably didn't realize that she'd wrapped her arms around herself. Huh. What was wrong? Was that a little too creepy?
で
And
ここまでは単にこれまでの事件の整理だろ。発見ってのは？
all we've done so far is go over what we know. What's your discovery? Oh yeah, he's right. I used the computer to print out a series of pictures.
当然だけど、両方とも事件の目的はわからない。
Obviously, we don't know what the motive behind these two killings are.
今のところ唯一の不審人物である大谷氏の部屋を訪ねてきた人間が何者で何を考えて何を話したのかも見当がつかない。
The one suspect we've got is whoever visited Otani's room, and we don't know who they are, what they wanted, or what they were talking about.
でも僕はこの妙な事件はまだ続くと思う。被害者の共通点からの推測でしかないけどね。
But I think there's more to this to come. It's only a guess, though, based off of something the victims have in common.
は？マジか？
Huh? Seriously? Ito leaped out of his chair in shock. Well, I couldn't blame him.
共通点に関しては散々話し合ったろ。分かったのは渋谷に住んでることとニア道のユーザーだったこと。
We spent forever going over things they could have had in common. All we came up with was that they both lived in Shibuya and they both used Nikoniya.
あとはまあ2人ともある程度の知名度があって自殺した状況が異常だってことくらいか。
Nikonia about to lose so much stock from this. Nobody wants to be the next new gen. The only other things are that they were both semi-famous and they both died in a bizarre way.
でもそんなもんじゃそれ以上のことは何も見えてこなかっただろう。
That didn't tell us anything we didn't already know, did it?
気づかないか？別の共通点。
So you didn't see the other thing they had in common? What, died of blood loss? Point towards the Bolton bar as they spoke. Should be a ward? Ito looked really annoyed.
偉そうにしよってからに。そもそもこっちの気を引くようにプリントアウトしてるやつはなんだ？
Damn it, you arrogant asshole, what's up with that thing you're printing out anyway? Also, when I saw should be a ward, I thought, oh, this must have been in a hospital, but I think ward means something different. Heh. One of the best parts of finding something like this was seeing the angry look on his face. Well, it was only yesterday that I found it myself, though.
じらさなくていいから。何を見つけたの？
Relax. What did you find? Kurusu beckoned for me to go on. No matter what she said, after hearing all this, she probably wanted to know what came next. Oh, it finished sprinting. Kazuki suddenly stood in front of me. She offered me the printed images without a word.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Then she offered me something else. A lollipop.
くれるの？
Are you giving me this? She nodded.
どうも。
Thanks. Kazuki seemed to be communicating her own way, in her own unique way. She walked over to the bulletin board. I tapped the data printouts on the two cases with her finger.
カズキどうした？
Kazuki, what's wrong? She did it again. I saw the approach she was pointing at and nodded.
そう。日付だよ。7日。19日。
That's right. The dates. The 7th, the 19th. Prime numbers? It's a crazy connection to make.
共通点。9月7日と
That's what
9月19日。渋谷で発生した異常な事件。わかるだろ？
That's what they have in common. Strange deaths on September 7th and September 19th. Ring a bell. I kept looking at Ito. Usually he'd be the one to pick up on this. A second later.
Oh.
He froze. He must have figured it out.
猟奇マニアのお前ならわかるだろ？
Yep, with your weird love of murders, you know what I'm talking about. Is the next murder going to be on the 31st? I pinned the images I just printed out onto the bulletin. Actually, no, there's 23rd as well, which is a prime number. Yeah, 23rd. 29th, I think. And then 31st are all prime numbers. I pinned the images I just printed out onto the bulletin board's map.
9月7日。集団ダイブ。
Damn, I thought I was cooking, but I guess I wasn't. September 7th, group dive.
9月19日。妊娠男。
September 19th, man-child.
9月29日。貼り付け。
September 29th, crucifixion.
10月10日。ヴァンパイア。
October 10th, vampire.
10月23日。ノータリン。
October 23rd, numbskull.
10月28日。うまい手。
October 28th, finger food. Okay, so in the not previous game, in Cow's Head Noah, the events were all sort of, I was going to say they were all designed to be in proximity of Takumi in order to, so he could see it and awaken, but I don't think he was there for the group dive. He only saw the crucifixion in person. Maybe something else? Oh, his doctor, his psychiatrist or whatever, killed himself in the numbskull case. So generally, if we can, I don't know. I guess you have to figure out who are these people close to. Like, who is Momone and Otani supposed to break? Like, what is the connection there? And if I had to guess, it's probably someone who uses Nikonia. I don't know. That's just my guess.
11月4日ドキュンパズル
November 4th, Dokyun Puzzle.
ニュージェネレーションの狂気
The New Generation Madness. Fictional, the name of a series of brutal serial killings that took place in Shibuya between September 7th and November 4th of 2009. The methods of murder were bizarre and entirely unorthodox, which led to its cult popularity among the youth of Shibuya. As a result, the mass media dubbed it the New Generation Madness. A total of 14 people died in all 7 incidents. The date and names of each murder as follows. September 7th, Group Dive. September 19th, Man-Child. September 29th, Crucifixion. October 10th, Vampire. October 23rd, Numbskull. October 28th, Finger Food. And November 4th, Dokyun Puzzle. Yep. 6 years ago in 2009, a series of strange deaths that occurred just before the earthquake that struck Shibuya on November 6th. They became famous for the words left by the killer, "Whose eyes are those eyes?" They called the killings the New Generation Madness. The murder took place in Shibuya, but the whole country took an interest in them. At the time, I was in 6th grade, and just like a lot of people, I followed every new development on the internet.
日付が6年前の事件とぴったり一致してるんだ。事件も自殺っぽいっていう内容はともかく猟奇的だという点で同じ。
The dates match up exactly with the dates of the murders from 6 years ago. They may be set up to look like suicides, but they're every bit as weird as the old killings. Okay, so this could be two things. It could be the Committee of 300, or Nozomi, added again, or it could be a copycat murderer who saw the New Generation Madness and was like, I want to do that. But we also know that with the Don't Look case, there was definitely gigolomania involved, like delusions. So it might have to be a gigolomaniac that killed these people. Or it could be a porter, I suppose. I don't know what happened to Nozomi after the events of the first game. I guess they're still around. It's a coincidence. Until it happens the third time, then it's a pattern. She seemed to be trying to force the words out of her throat. She wants it to be a coincidence. Kurusu is acting a little strange. Oh, are you? Are you the one doing it? Are you the gigolomaniac, Kurusu? Come on. Her arms clutch her torso even tighter. Or it could be a red herring. At this point, it's kind of useless to guess.
副部長
Vice President? Maybe it's because of all the creepy pictures she'd seen. Kurusu is clearly shaking. She tried her best to stop it as she spoke.
何でも関連づけて大きくしたがるのはやめなさい。2つたまたま一致しただけでしょ。
Stop trying to connect every little event. It's just a coincidence that they line up.
偶然かそうではないかはすぐにわかるよ。ニュージェネ第3の事件が起こったのは9月29日。つまり
We'll know for sure soon. The third New Gen incident took place on September 29th. In other words,
今日だ。
today.
もし今日渋谷でまた妙な事件が起こったらその時は間違いない。 偶然が3つ続くなんて放っておける要素じゃないだろ。
If something weird happens in Shibuya again, we'll know for sure. If a coincidence happens 3 times, it's not a coincidence anymore. And then, let me guess, it doesn't happen this time. Because the Empress herself is the new Gen Killer. And she was like, oh, fuck, you caught on. I guess I have to stop. A phone rang. It was mine.
はい、もしもし。
Yes.
いや、事故？とにかくタクの言う通りのことが起きたかもしれないんだよ。
There's been a murder, or maybe an accident? Well, either way, I think you said what you said might have happened. I could feel my heart starting to race as she spoke. It was a love hotel area in Dogenzaka, 5 minutes from Shibuya Station. A few days ago, there had been some kind of suspicious fire here, and I had come here to do some reporting. The place was supposedly a love hotel spot, but even at night, when business should have been booming, it wasn't particularly exciting. During the day, when all the lights were turned off, if you didn't look at the signs, it wouldn't look very different from your average neighborhood. One of the buildings was the 4-story love hotel with a terrible name, Fairy's Dance. It faced a narrow street and there was no parking lot, so the police car was parked at a meter nearby. This way. Sariko was standing from a general store some distance away. She was supposed to be spending the day taking photos of the area around the last 2 crime scenes.
何があった？
What happened?
わかんない。さっきゲンさんと107の近くですれ違った時にここで何かが起きたって教えてくれたの。
I don't know. I passed by Gensan near 107 and he told me something was up here.
相変わらずあの人はよくわかんないな。どこから仕入れてるんだ、そんな情報。便利だからいいけど。
I just don't get that guy. Where does he find out about this stuff? It's helpful, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Gensan was a homeless man I knew who had sold me all the books in my secret stash. He was a drunk who claimed to be of noble blood, but the stories he told me about his past didn't sound very noble at all. The guy was a weirdo, but since he spent all his time wandering around Shibuya, he knew a surprising amount of info about it.
でも大事なのは間違いないっぽいよ。さっき中に入ってった警察の人が応援呼んでたみたいだし。
But it seems like something's really happening, though. The policeman who just went in looked like he was calling for backup. I see. Another street sign says Hotel Surolinin. So I take a video of the outside of the hotel with my smartphone.
お前、こういう時だけ足早いな。
You really run fast at times like these. I'd left the 2 of them in the club room, but they only just now caught up with me. They must have ran here. Ito especially was breathing very heavily.
なんだ、クルスも来たのか。
What? Kurusu came too? I guess she's interested. Kazuki had decided not to come, evidently. Of course not. I never seen her outside, except when we were going to and from school.
で、事件か？
So, did something happen? I told Ito what I'd heard from Sarika. He seemed really disappointed.
なんだそりゃ。単に血は喧嘩かなんかで騒ぎになったんじゃねえの？
What? You sure it's not just some couple that had a fight?
それだけでわざわざ応援なんて呼ぶか？それに、今日は29日なんだぞ。
Would you call reinforcements just for that? And today's the 29th, you know. I mean, if he has a gun, then Yeah, but I guess people don't really have guns here very often.
だから気にしすぎだって言ってるでしょ。
I wonder how difficult it is to get a gun in Japan. Because, like, in America, it's not that hard, right? Like, there are ways you can do it. But I wonder, in Japan, is it, like, that cracked down on? I told you, you're overthinking this. Kurusu seemed upset. She glanced at the love hotels around her in disgust.
早く学校に戻りましょう。学生がいていい場所じゃない。監視カメラに映っているのが問題になったらどうするの。
Let's get back to school. This isn't the place where students are supposed to be. What if one of the security cameras spot us? She probably didn't want to get involved. Ever since the rebuilding, there have been more cameras around Shibuya than ever before, even around the love hotels. In our school uniforms, we probably stood out. Alright, you did say a corporation put up those security cameras, right? Kurusu motioned for us to go home. And then... Nutty. I saw something in the viewfinder. The viewfinder of your phone? The Pokecom? On the third floor of the Love Hotel. Whose eyes are those eyes? The windows in one of the rooms facing the alley were open. The windows must have been open all the way because the curtains were fluttering out.
なあ、普通こういうとこって窓開いてないもんだよな。
Hey, you normally don't open the windows in a place like this, do you? I asked Ito as I looked up at them.
ん？まあそうなんじゃねえの？使ったことなんかねえからわかんねえけど。
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I've never been to one. Oh. Ito followed my gaze and saw it for himself. It felt suspicious. I've never been to a love hotel either, so I don't know, but normally you'd keep the windows shut, right? You wouldn't want people seeing or hearing what you were doing. And then, suddenly, I heard a sound from somewhere. It was a calming song with a simple melody. Took a closer listen. Was it a music box? It definitely was. It was coming from the room with the open windows. Sounded like it was inviting us in. What was going on? I looked around. The buildings across from the open window was another love hotel, but had no windows on that side. I couldn't look into buildings like I'd done with the karaoke box last week. I certainly couldn't climb my way up.
ちょっと何考えてるの？
Wait, what were you thinking? I saw a pensive look on my face because Kurusu turned to me curiously.
バレないように中に入れれば。
If we can get inside without them finding us. Looked over at the parking meters. There's still only the one car. Okay.
裏口ぐらいどっかにあるだろうから、応援の警察が来る前に済まそう。伊藤、そっち側から回ってくれ。
There should be a rear entrance somewhere, so let's do it before the police reinforcements get here. Ito, go around from the side. From that side.
おお。
Okay.
僕はこっち側から。
I'll take this side.
ちょっとタクル、こっち見なさい。
Why'd she have to come along if she was gonna act like this? Takaru, stop. Look at me. I began to go around the building, not waiting for Ito's answer, but Kurusu grabbed my arm.
ダメ。こんなの部活の範疇じゃないでしょ。私の言うことが聞けないの？
You can't do this. This is way beyond what a high school club should be involved in. Won't you listen to me? Crap. She was just a millimeter short of making that face again.
しかもここ、いかがわしいホテルでしょう。
This is one of those dirty hotels too, isn't it?
それに、もし妙なことに巻き込まれたらどうするの？
Also, what if you get caught up in something weird? I knew all that, but I didn't want to give up. This might be my chance to get a real scoop.
停学にでもなったらどうするつもり？姉として弟を危険な目に遭わせるわけにはいかないの。
What if you get expelled? As your big sister, I can't let you put yourself in danger. She's not really the big sister, right? I mean, aside... Wait. Hold up. Am I gaslighting myself? They do in fact have different last names, right? Boys. Okay. Kurusu Nono Miyashiro Takaru. Yeah. Okay. So I think she just means like big sister in spirit.
弟というか家族でも何でもないじゃんか僕たちは。
Sister? We're not actually family, are we? Oh, she's so hurt by that. Kurusu immediately grabbed me by the collar with incredible force and brought her face so close to mine that our foreheads touched. I could tell that her cheeks were flushed. There was a small wordless growl from deep within her throat, and her arms were shaking a little as she held me. What was she trying to say? No, I knew exactly what she was trying to say. But Kurusu didn't say it. Kurusu wasn't the sort of awful person to bring up that distant past to try and win an argument. And anyway, that was all over now. It wasn't either of our faults.
Yame!
Stop it! Suddenly, Serika ran over and tackled Kurusu. The momentum slammed both of them into the ground.
ちょっとセリカ、何して。
Ow, Serika, what was that for?
喧嘩はダメだよ、のんちゃん。タク、5人でみんな仲良くが新聞部のモットーでしょ。
No fighting, Non-chan. That goes for you too, Taku. The motto of the newspaper club is that all 5 of us are friends, right? No, that was never our motto.
しんちゃんも止めなきゃダメじゃん。
Shin-chan, you need to stop them too.
いやつうかどこ行ってたんだ。
Oh, wait, where were you?
ああ、そうだ。喧嘩してる場合じゃないんだよ、タク。
Hmm? Oh, that's right. There's no time for fighting, Taku. She suddenly hopped up like a cheap toy.
裏のドア開いてる。
The back door is open.
Huh?
What?
喉乾いて自販機なくてホテルの中ならあるだろうと思って裏のドア見つけて開けて。
I was thirsty, but I couldn't find a vending machine, so I decided to look inside the hotel, and I went around to the back door and opened it.
中入って自販機やってさすが妖精のダンスじゃんやるじゃんって思って買って一気飲みしてたらあれって。
Then I went inside, and there was a vending machine, and I said to myself, way to go, fairies dance. And then I bought a drink and gulped it down, and then said, wait a second.
んだよそれ。
What?
お前いつも後先考えずに突き進むよな。
You always get ahead of yourself.
タク、どうするの？
So Taku, what's the plan? I could tell that Kurusu was glaring at me. She didn't say anything. She couldn't say anything.
2人で行こう。カップルの方がいざという時にごまかしが効くかもしれない。
Let's go together. If we pretend to be a couple, we might be able to fool them if it comes to that.
オッケー。
As soon as the words were out of my mouth, Serika beckoned me to follow her. I did. I didn't say it, but in my heart I apologized to Kurusu as I went. Of course she couldn't hear me, so she didn't say anything.
階段向こうなんだけどな。
The stairs are over there, though. And I think I'm going to... Actually, no, I'll keep on going. Stairs are over there, though. We went inside the hotel from the rear entrance and hid behind the corner that led to the lobby. This is my first time inside a love hotel, and it's a lot less gaudy than I expected. The name was false advertising, there were no fairies, and no one was dancing. Maybe the quiet atmosphere was a selling point. but
ですから人を早くよこしてください。いや、それは新庄さんに聞いてください。
just send someone back there. What? No, ask Shinjo-san. Silence was ruined by the sound of a police officer screaming into his phone. He was either confused or just excited because he kept saying the same things over and over again. Something had happened after all. Is he saying the same things over again because there's a speaker inside his stomach that's pre-recorded? I don't know. Something bad enough they need backup. This is my chance. If we get to the scene before the place is overflowing with cops, we might be able to find an unexpected scoop.
はい、それは間違いありません。確認しました。ですがこちらでは判断が。いえ、ですからそういう状態じゃないんです。
Yes, there's no doubt about it. I checked. But I can't decide that on my own. No, I told you. That's not what's going on.
くそ。
Damn it. That cop was in the way. Whether we took the stairs or the elevator, we need to go through the lobby to get to them.
タク、行くよ。
Taku, let's go.
早く。
Hurry. Wait. Sarika took me by the arm as if we were a couple and entered the lobby without trying to hide at all.
おいおい。
Hey, come on. She ignored me and walked straight for the stairs.
おい、
Hey! The cop must have seen us because he yelled at us from behind. Shit. He probably hadn't seen our faces. Should we run? No, that would just make us look suspicious.
部屋から出るなと言っているだろう。はい、いえ、すいません、大丈夫です。それより早く応援を。
I told you not to leave your rooms. Yes, no, sorry, it's okay, I forget that. I need that backup. Started to mumble into the phone. Across the lobby without looking back. Okay.
無茶するなよ。
That was crazy.
でもタクの言った通りだったじゃん。ごまかせたごまかせた。
This room is so yellow. But you're right, we're able to fool him.
びっくりした。
That really scared me. Genuinely, why is this room so yellow? That was too close for comfort. My heart was pounding so loud that the noise was making me sick. Could he not tell that we were high school students? No, even if he only saw us from behind, he should have been able to tell by our uniforms. Why didn't he arrest us? Maybe he was panicking so much that he thought that the thought never occurred to him.
テトはどうしようか。
Okay, so what's the next step? Circa let go of my arm and turn towards me. That's right. Now isn't the time to think about other things.
外から見たあの場所が現場かどうかはわからないけど、とりあえず3階から当たろう。そこが外れだったら他の場所を見ていく。警察の応援が来たらそこで切り上げ。
We don't know whether or not that room on the third floor is what we're after, but we should start there. If that doesn't work, we try other places. Once the police reinforcements arrive, we leave.
でも警察の様子から見て、やっぱり何か事件があったんだ。絶対に撮って帰ろう。
But from the way the officer is acting, something was definitely up. We need to get photos before we go.
オッケー。
It was quiet. The policeman's voice was still drifting up the stairs, but only made the silence seem more oppressive. Just like he'd said, the customers had probably been told not to leave their rooms. It was too late for it to matter now, but I was starting to feel a little scared. Coming to think of it, something had happened. Maybe the killer was still here?
そういえばタク、まだのんちゃんと喧嘩しちゃってるんだね。
Hey Taku, you're fighting with Nanchan again, aren't you? Circa's voice was relaxed. I was grateful. I'll take any opportunity to relieve this tension.
喧嘩ってわけじゃないよ。
It wasn't really a fight. No, maybe it was.
でもまだクルスって呼んでるんでしょ。 気持ちはわかるけど、なんとかならないかな。
You're still calling her Karusu, right? I know how you feel, but isn't there something you can do? Until half a year ago, I called her No-No, her first name. After the incident that caused me to leave the dorm, I never called her that again. As long as I kept calling her Karusu, she'd keep being mad at me. Must have been hurting some important part of her.
タク、
あ、
Next thing I knew, we were on the 3rd floor. Circa had gone ahead of me at some point and was poking her head around the corner and into the hallway.
誰もいないみたい。
Nobody's here, I think.
よし。
Good. I took out my phone and got ready to record. As soon as I went into the 3rd floor hallway, I found myself holding my breath. My heart was pounding even louder than when the cop had yelled at us. I tried to control myself and look down the corridor. The room must have been very big because the gap between the doors was large. The floors of red, sinking into black as the hallway stretched away. I could hear the unpleasant sound of blowing air. They must have had the air conditioning on. There were no windows, and there wasn't a lot of light, so the hallway looked pretty creepy, but there's nothing out of the ordinary about it otherwise. But still, it was strange. The air felt solid. It felt like someone would jump out from the shadows the second you let your guard down. Perhaps there were traps scattered everywhere along the floor. For a second, the floor seemed to be stained with blood, but I shook that image out of my mind. What was this? It was like the fear you feel in the darkness at night. Was it just because there was so little light? No, it was worse than that. It felt like someone was watching me, enjoying my unease. Whose eyes are those eyes? It's like they're peering deep into my heart.
タク、
Whose eyes were those eyes? That's Shogun's eyes, right? He was looking at people. That was his gigglomaniac ability. That wasn't nose at me. I don't, or Committee 300. I don't think. Almost jumped off the ground at the start.
どうしたの？
Huh? What's wrong? Don't just talk to me out of nowhere like that. You scared the hell out of me.
なんでもない。なんか変じゃないか。
It's nothing. Hey, isn't this kind of weird? I gestured down the hallway with my head. Serica looked past me into the darkness.
そりゃ暗いからなんか不気味だけど、雰囲気作りとかじゃないの？
Well, it's creepy because it's so dim. Isn't that just to set the mood?
Huh?
Was it? Was that all? Was I being too sensitive? I tried flipping the light switch on the wall next to me, but nothing happened. Maybe the bulbs were burnt out, or maybe it wasn't the switch for this hallway at all. Damn it, this wasn't 1407 or something. A 2007 American horror movie about a hotel room where all the occupants commit suicide, based on a work by the master of modern horror, Stephen Queen. Okay, so that's obviously a reference to Stephen King. I don't know what 1407 is a reference to. I'll probably feel really dumb if someone were to point it out. I turned around. The only person there was Serica. No one else was looking at me. It took some time to make sure of it before I spoke.
行くぞ。
Let's go. Yeah. Circa nodded cheerfully and stayed behind me as we walked deeper into the hallway. I remember the location of the window I'd seen outside. It was probably deeper in the hall, the furthest one back, or the one before it.
あの2つのどちらかかな。
It's probably one of those two. I walked as silently as I could down the hallway towards the last rooms on the left side. With every step I took, I could feel sensation in the hallway floor through the bottom of my heels. It was like I was being forced to think about nerves I had never used. My body felt very tense. I didn't see any cops in the hallway. Usually they'd at least leave one person here at the scene. Was this the wrong floor? Oh, do you think the cop is seeing a delusion right now? It really seems like not much is going on. We reached the second to last door. Room 306. And... game saved automatically. I'm going to end the episode off there. We'll pick this up